Why so anonymous am I? Well, because they gave you a choice in 2013, the ways of Christ or fight like hell over what you want. And as a representative group, you have a representative government, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, and I'm in the United States of America, right? And this is Europa. So you chose fuck Christ, and I need money to fuck, and it's fun, according to your brain chemical addiction. And so that's why I'm so anonymous, am I? Okay. And so we come to this point and realize I do have the majority of the people. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Well, they put all their money into quantum computing and artificial intelligence. Okay. And it has nothing to do with people praying to me as God or Dave Miscavige or L. Ron Hubbard is our great scientific savior from Taft Benson and Hinckley and so forth. That's irrelevant. Okay. Truth is always truth and lies always lie. And you can't replace the old brand of lie with a new brand of lie that's a kinder, gentler lie or a more organic lie. Right? So that's what's most likely, that's what's happening. And so, the Vatican's been a big murdering pile of shit since its inception, right? The Quorum of the 12, since betraying Joseph Smith, has been a big, and betraying Brigham Young has been a big pile of shit since its inception, wanting to be more American than Americans, right? And, good values, making lots of money, bringing in the railroad stations, bringing in the, and that's what they did in Salt Lake. That's why Brigham Young went to go live in St. George near the people he could trust, the Navajo and the Utes. You see what I'm saying? Kit Carson, spit when you say that. Okay. Kit Carson was friends with the Navajo, but he was also friends with the Utes, and the Utes were big rivals and rival gang with them. And the Utes had such a strong presence, they figured, you just might as well give in, or they're going to come and kill you all. Where the Navajos were like, well, we don't see all these people. I've never been to Salt Lake City. I don't know Provo. Provo ain't here. They're not my neighbors. It's like they didn't have the idea how a railroad works, how they can bring in 50,000 men overnight once they bring in the railroad with Gatling guns and cannons, and just like they did in the Civil War. So in Mississippi and other points south, how Lincoln won the war was, taking control of the mechanization, and then the Southern people trying to sabotage. But when you sabotage their lines to come and police you sabotage any lines to get food in. When they do Sheridan and Sherman, scorch and burn, like what they did with the Navajo, right? What they did with those peach orchards. Okay, when people burn down your peach orchards and kill off your javelina herds, there's pigs in Mexico and they migrate back up. Okay? And peach seeds fall and nature takes a course and you have new peach orchards. That's why you still have peach orchards and javelina migrations in through the creek near Portal, heading towards the Cochise strongholds and the Chiricahua. Right? God damn, they're dumb. Yeah, it's like they're playing God. And when the last motherfucker that plays God dies, then, nature takes over. And the planet is not God. The planet is not an omnipotent, omnipotent essence of all existence. Okay. In order to have planet Earth, you need an omnipotent, omnipotent essence of all existence. The origin of all things, right? You can't declare yourself the origin of all things because you got an ego problem and a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other. I've got those smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee blues. Smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee all night long, right? I filled up 11 ashtrays and I must have written 6 or 7 songs. But with her, I didn't finish what I had started and I've lost jobs on account of that. Because I'm a doer leaving something left for some. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Never... you'd rather give a friend your wages than to go downtown and be someone you ain't. If what a loser is what you think I am, I guess that's all I ever amount to being. But the Lord's Prayer is perfect, and Wall Street is fucked, K Street is sucks, and your Funky Town and Electric Avenue are word bound for extinction from their inception. Now the air conditioner, the fan with the cooler, to keep grandma from dying from heat exposure. That was a faithful form of communication. When you started charging money for it, that's when the bitch took over, and then you started becoming the queen of silver dollar, and everybody's paying money to look at your hoochie and wants to see your hoochie more than they want to breathe. That part. What was this kid? He's a dork, but I was sitting there going, you want to see Britney Spears' hoochie? You're not Kevin Federline, right? What do you want to see? I just want to see Amy's hoochie and not have other people looking at it and then going, oh, she's got a big mole on her, and it sucked. Okay, the guys at NSI that Nate had, that Navy SEAL had fucking my wife, okay, touched her mole on her side and grossed out and conceived a baby with her. And then that baby has to deal with the mind of that fucked up dad. And I have to fix his brain when dealing with her. And that's a lot of fucking work, but it's worth it. Because buggies are cute and they're sweet and they're cute and they got jaundice and you gotta take them outside in the sun so it doesn't make them sick and they're so cute. And then you sing to them, doon 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 doon. And if you lie to children to try to make the person that's cheating and lying look good, how are we gonna ever live the ways of Elijah and Jeremiah, assholes? How are we gonna do that, right? If the good person takes the quote high road, okay, this isn't charity, asshole. This is the Gospels. This is the way, the truth, and the life. Charity is when someone is too proud to take help and they wake up the next morning and all the elves have done all the shoes for the cobbler. That's charity. Okay? The North Pole thing, it doesn't exist. And elves, you don't need to be a person that has a birth defect because of a stressful, toxic, chemically induced, like the little girl with the teeth that was so pretty in El Paso that's going to pass away because she doesn't have what she needs. And then the other lady that worked at the Dollar Tree that was here in town that was really attractive woman, but she's what they refer to as a midget or a short person because of inefficiencies in the environment. And so they take what they need to survive, and that's the best they can do. But that you have health complications from that. You also have health complications from being Andre the Giant. When things go out of whack, you go to one extreme or the other, whichever is more conducive to survival. So in a desert community, you have a tendency for people to be smaller, okay? And in places where you have a lot of the things that you might need, okay, people have a tendency to be bigger. So how does that work in Africa? It has a lot to do if you're dealing with predators, landscapes, savannas, deserts, having to cover large covers of ground without and this and that and that. So it has a lot to do with different things, different topography, different genetics, different animals, different predators, when you're dealing with different predators and what your body needs to survive those predators. So you adapt to the environment in radically different ways. When you have this topography here, it's a little different, so that people tend to be a little bit smaller, okay? Like fun. Okay? And so, and there's nothing wrong with being 5'4". You've never met a better, stronger, more beautiful man than Victorio. And you never met a kinder, more handsome man than Martin Barreras. He was just living in hell, being abused by hellacious people because he was connected in prayer to the line of the Holy Grails. Okay. So he tried. The Mormon mob was not having it. The Mormon mob would not take Martin Barreras as, the line to produce but when it came to trying to get, kill me off and get one of their own, they were more than happy to induce a pregnancy through drinking alcohol to survive and not doing what was needed to prevent the pregnancy. Yeah. She didn't want to get pregnant because it wasn't, financially, socially, things were, were not going that well. They were always difficult. They were always abusive. She didn't like oppression, and she wanted to marry Justin because he'll drink a Mike's Hard Lemonade with her and say this shit sucks. I hate this self-righteous bullshit, because that was Melissa every time she stayed at Aunt Patrice's house. Okay, shit. God, to be a Rockefeller, yeah, you want to be a fly on the wall? It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Okay. Rockefeller, he has contracts to watch everything. So does Rothschild. You see everything you don't want to see. When people pray to you and you're like me, all you get to see is just sunshine and lollipops and that's my kid, but you don't get to see that he's fucking the neighbor. She's doing this. You don't get to see all the stuff that Rockefeller and Rothschild see. People come to me when they need help. Well, they'll confess their sins, but they don't sit there and say, haha, I'm getting away with it, I'm fucking the neighbor, and there's nothing that my neighbor can do about it. Oh, how Dick Wolf are you? Doink, doink. And so, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Special Victims Unit. You're all Special Victims Unit. I'm going to read to you slow. You're a victim because you can't comprehend and read. What an idiot. Okay, doink, doink. Dick Wolfs. Who's afraid of Big Dick Wolf? Big Dick Wolf. Not me. I'm Grace's Good Shepherd, man. I'm Lion King David. I'm going to hit you right between the eyes with a rock. And the rest of them come around, I'll hit them too. I've done it before. It was a 2x4. Yeah. Keeping the 3 dogs and Addie off my jiggles. The one yelling the loudest was the one I didn't knock the shit out of right between the eyes. Was the first one to leave. Yelp, yelp, yelp. You didn't even get hit. I'm crying for the other 2. Yelp, yelp, yelp. It didn't even hit him. And he was yelp, 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 tail between the legs. The other 2 were staggering home like, God damn, what just happened? I think that 11-year-old just knocked our brains loose for trying to kill his Australian Shepherd. I think he did. He did. Yeah, Dad told me that. And she had a wound right here and stuff. And I was like, they were going to kill Jiggles. Right in front of me. I got home and those dogs came out and I let Jiggles out of the apartment to go to the bathroom. And they came out bounding up and jumped her. And I was like terrified. I was like, what did I do? And a little voice in my head, calm down. Or thanks, King David. Grab that 2x4, hit him right here. Okay. Wham. Okay. And I went for both. You had to go for both. Well, because the one was going for her main artery on her thigh. The other one was going for the one on the neck. Either way, if they punctured either one was going to kill her. Okay. So fast. Aim. Pow, pow. And, they were gone. I guess that's why Joe Pow Pow was my favorite quarterback in the CFL, right? Pow, pow, I did it. I took my club with my shark teeth on it, and I made those dogs get away from my Jiggles. Old Jiggles, she was a dork. And she was one of the biggest dorks of dogs in the history of dogs, dorks of dogs. Yeah, she was a dork. She was not the sharpest tool in the shed. She was cute, Look, I made the seat more comfortable. Yeah, she sure did. Cherry, he always say that to her, that stupid dog. It's like, I call, and Linda was there, Jerry, it's like, Linda, I know she was originally your dog, but the thing about it is he's right. She is kind of a stupid dog. She does the dumbest things. Okay. And I was like, what's she thinking? She wasn't. She was just being a dog. And then, like I said, she dug into and climbed into one of so they wouldn't get blown over. They had the, in Plias, they had the dumpsters buried so you could, I don't know how they emptied them, but they buried them. And she dug into it and got into it, and the top of the dumpster thing came down on her and wreaked havoc on her spinal column. She had to be, I don't know if she died or had to be euthanized or what, but yeah, Jerry was sad and he felt bad for all the times he called her a dumb dog. It's like, I just know that she pretty much proved it. Jiggles. She had enough food. She just wanted something else. She was just that type of dog. I loved her. Oh, yeah. Vip was way more intelligent than she was. Yeah, he sure was. He everything Vip did had a reason, and he wouldn't do a lot of things. When they said, well, yeah, but that kid, yeah, he used to bite tigers on motorcycles and cars when they came ripping down the road. He didn't do it if they didn't drive fast down that dirt road by the ditch. Okay, he'd bark at them. But the more they were gunning the engine, the more he'd bite the tire. Well, because it was coming at a rational rate of speed, it didn't put out any pheromones, and it was dangerous. And he was protecting his children. That was not a dumb dog. That dog was way smart, more intelligent than Ford and Ferrari put together. Yeah. Okay. That was a German Shepherd of all German Shepherds. Very important Parsons is what we used to call him. Yeah. Vip's a big boy because he was a big boy. Call him Vip for Vic's big boy, and we always referred to him as Vip. Linda cried for a day and a half when that dog died. And Dad had to take him to the vet and put him down because of his arthritis and stuff. Oh yeah, and he couldn't move his back legs, and Dad felt bad for him. And then we buried him in the backyard, and Linda was crying and crying and crying. She loved that dog. I did too. He saved me from that pit bull. He was yeah, from getting attacked by that pit bull. I was a kid. It's hard to fight off a pit bull when you're a kid. It's a lot easier when you're a human being. We know, we have camera footage of it all across Las Cruces when the military was testing him out. Assholes. God, that was so fucking annoying. After January 22nd, 2013. Oh God, Las Cruces was the most annoying community in the history of Gladiator. I'm so glad Gladiatordom is coming to a Gladiator dumb end. Dum hey dum gum gum. Do you bring gum dum dum? You Smithsonian wackadoodles. You're nuts. I'm so glad it's coming to an end. I'm so glad the eternal spirits of the righteous, working through the Messiah, through the Ruth clan, Ruth's line, is the focal point of doing that, and that I'm doing it. We got it did, and I had all the help I could ever need. You can't ask for better than Tishna. You can't ask for better. I haven't talked very much to Cochise. Tishna was the one, Victorio's line, Lozon. Yeah, the homosexual lady, yes. That protected, she's the one that was the best at protecting from the other men, from cutting the tips off the noses and all. That's where he learned it from. Taza and Najee kind of were like, well, they shouldn't. Just because he doesn't mean she should do it back, right? And so, it's their tradition, it's their right, like Nino Cochise did, right? But Tishna was part Mescalero and part Chiricahua, okay? And the two spirit women in the Mescalero tribe, you did not fuck with them, okay? Marilee Ortega, stuff like that. And, you don't fuck with people like that. She, hungry? Did you eat yet? Hand me your hat, right? Okay. Only with Lozon, it was like, no. She was the most efficient and quick and agile knife fighter in the whole Apache group. Yeah. What changed her was the steel knife. Okay. That woman with a steel knife, she was going to cut you to shreds if you didn't stop beating your wife and cutting the tip of her nose because she slept with a Mexican because you slept with a Mexican, right? Women will do that, okay? Who's making love to your old lady while you're out making love, right? Angel in your hot. Why'd you go around secretly? If you were tired of loving me, why'd you keep holding on? When love was already gone, the time they said it wasn't feeling well. Don't you think I couldn't tell you'd been with someone else? Because you're a transmitter and she's a receiver. You were only fooling yourself. When she first found out, she heard all over. She felt so left out till she got to know her. Then she tried to wait till you got over, and then she became just like her. So don't be surprised to find you don't want my love, so I'm giving it away. First come, first serve. And you make a travesty of love. Okay? Love is a holy covenant. A baby is born healthy and forever, my lady. It's like a dream. I'm holding you close. You're keeping me warm. If this is ecstasy, right? It's not. Ecstasy is living the Lord's Prayer, then maintaining holy covenants through faithful love. Okay? Don't ever think making money for the record factories is going to make your life any better than Jackie Wilson's, David Ruffin's, Eddie Kendrick's, the life and sad ending of Stephen Hawking and John McCain. Same thing. Ring-a-ling, Ramalama Ding Dong. I know a girl named Ramalama Ding Dong. She brings in lots of money. Okay, so you guys understand. So, that's why I'm so anonymous. And, you can't leave it up to the people. Look what they did with Jesus. Look what they did with Muhammad after Muhammad, the Holy Hajj, and you look what they did. Look what they did with Haile Selassie. Okay, you cannot leave it up into the hands of the sinners. You cannot leave truth to sinners and say, that kingdom come, thy will be done as it is in heaven, so it be on earth. It's not going to happen. It's going to be the righteous saving the children from the sin of the sinners, not the sinners saving the children from the delusions of goddom of the righteous. Okay, God's omniscient, omnipotent, asshole. Okay, asshole. Asshole. Abilene. I don't know if Kenny's probably with us anymore. He had a very bad alcohol problem and stuff like that. If he's still with us, it might be a pleasure to sit around and hear him pull a few quips around with his old Abilene accent there. If not, I can still do a pretty good Ken Wood. Asshole. Fuck you, Parsons. I'd do a pretty good Ken Wood. That's Wood. That's Wood. Yeah, it's funny. Do Wood again. To walk for your John Wayne walk. And he sits there. Asshole. I bet you that time when he picked me up and gave me shit, driving me back from the airport to, he picked me up in a fleet service van, and that's all right with me. And you're sitting there, you got them sliding doors, you put your seatbelt on because, you don't feel safe riding around in traffic at those things, And it's a big wooden box that if somebody hits it, it's like, oh, goddamn, plywood and metal everywhere. So you're driving it, and he's picking me up because they said, they got to do. So he just out by the back gate, he just left. Said, "Oh, okay, I'll go pick him up." And they're like, "Wood, you can't go pick him up. You're not cleared to ride. You can't go in your civilian vehicle off base driving." He goes, "I'm not. I'm in a government vehicle. I have my governor's driver's license. I'm going to do yeah." He he explained back to him on the radio. I'm not breaking what the doctor told me to do. I cannot drive my civilian license with a civilian in a civilian vehicle off base, right? But they made me free to drive around in a military vehicle. They didn't say anything about on or off base. And they looked at the thing and like, God damn, that Texan read that, didn't he, before he signed it? Yeah. No wonder he's laughing. So he shows up, waiting for me at the airport, get my luggage, and say, "Hey, how's it going?" Starts sitting there talking to me, tells me about it, and he's talking to the people on the radio while he's bringing me in, right? So they can hear at the squadron. And he sits there, and he tells me, and he goes, "Well, you're here," and he starts telling me about the biggest loser and dumbass in the whole squadron. I said, "Wow, that's okay." Dumbass got so fucking stinking drunk one night. Fell off the third store balcony at the barn at the dorms. Okay, really? Yeah. Landed in the bushes. Okay. Ain't even supposed to be driving off base, but that's if he's using his own personal license and I said, I sit there and I go, well, who is this dumbass? And I got to look for and stay away from him. He looks over at me, smiles so I can see his name tag, and he goes, Airman First Class Wood. I'm like, oh fuck. He's grinning. He's holding down the radio, the radio button so they can hear him telling the story and telling me, right? At the squadron, and they're all laughing their asses off. Welcome to Randy Murphy's Fleet Service at Pope Air Force Base, 1989, right? They're working me like a dog, Parsons. They working me like a dog. And there was nothing they could do as long as no harm, no foul. Nobody reported it. They didn't want it because he read it and they sped it and they went back and they explained it to him. There it is right there. It's in Air Force black and white. It is. Assholes. I'm sure if Colonel Kells found out about it, he laughed his ass off. It's like, damn. That Airman Wood is a sharper kid than he sure makes himself out to be. Yeah, he is. He ain't as dumb as they think he is. Nope. That may be killing his brain cells and pickling his liver, but he can still read through bureaucracy in a Texas two-step minute. Yeah. It's funny. Oh, to be dumb and have money to fuck, though tons of teardrops are bound to fall. True love gets kicked out into the hall. No holy covenants in the bedroom. There are no ace, still a brothel in Tombstone, Arizona. Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave. I'm your huckleberry. Huckleberry sits in the old gum tree. There are no gum trees. There's a huckleberry. Do they have huckleberries down under? Huckleberries? No? Okay. Well then, Huckleberry sits in the old Palo Verde. Mary, dumbass of the kill people with guns you see. Laugh, Huckleberry, dumb as fuck you must be. You still is. Damn, what a dumbass. Doc Holliday. Here, have a sarsaparilla. Okay. I know. That's a good song. You ever heard it? Today's the Day by the Association. Yeah. That's a damn good tone. Yeah, I made fun. I remember with Tom, my biker friend from West Virginia, just outside Pittsburgh. Right? And, or no, was he? I can't remember. But yeah, he's like West Virginia and then lived in Pittsburgh. Right? Huge Steeler fanatic, right? Kill him! He doesn't mean it. Yes, I do. The Cardinals and he'd sit there and the Steelers, they play the Cardinals. Kill him! And the ladies, the Cardinal fans, oh my gosh, he doesn't. Yeah, I go, he doesn't mean it. He'd look at him and go, yes, I do. It's like, God, you know my sister Linda, right? It's funny. No, Tom was a riot, man. I loved Tom. I liked Ken too. Tom was easier to tolerate. Ken was a white guy that dated white girls and listened to R.E.M. But his folks raised him on Booker T and the MGs and James Brown and all that. Okay. Then I'd ask him about things about R.E.M. and it's, oh no, you're just not smart enough to get it. It's like, I think I get it. I said, no, it's more complex than that. Okay. And so you'd ask him with Leonard Brezhnev, he's like, you don't know what he's saying either, right? Because they don't write down the lyrics in the liner notes, right? So you haven't figured it out yet either. Okay. Never mind. I just thought you might know, but apparently you don't. Okay, thanks. He'd look at me and go, you're obnoxious as hell, Parsons. Hey, man, Mike Riley, Gerald Williams, next in line, right. Black guys that are smarter than me. One of them was our first brown president. Boy, Rockefeller sure pegged him, right? It will come back to you. Truth, it's his favorite foreign movie. Oh, how Alan Keyes is it Alan Keyes or is Alan West or Ben Carson? I don't know. Gifted hands. You can cut people up and put them back together. Okay, gifted hands. Okay, they're the hands that help people heal from being nailed to crosses, so you can be bosses with money, putting people's heads back together to go accept extortion and exploitation for another faith-forsaken, wretched fucking day. You guys still think you need to make a movie about Ben Carson's capacity to cut open a brain, repair a brain from blunt force trauma through economic conflict over tens of thousands of years because it's economic. I take, I cover whole. It's blunt force trauma. Look, life's eternal, grace is infinite. Oh, yeah, welcome to the party, bitch. And we ain't voting for nothing because we elect to live the Lord's Prayer and we don't put that up to a vote because truth is truth and lie is lying. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, thank you. I love you too. So, you know what I'm saying? Asses and elbows. That's all I see. Every time people from the temple set Illuminati come in here to fuck with a closer walk with thee, every time I go, okay, I see what you're doing. Boom! Asses and elbows. I haven't seen Adam Sandler or talked to Seth Rogen since. They ain't come back. Chris Rock? I don't think so. Dave Chappelle? No. I talked to Charlie Murphy, but Charlie Murphy dead. Okay. So apparently the ghost is the only one brave enough to come back in there. Okay. Charlie Murphy. That's it. Charlie Murphy. When they were head fucking me with the Deep Chappelle. And that was a damn good video, by the way. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Was it Chappelle that made it so funny? Chappelle ain't funny. He gets paid money to act like an ass. I stop people from acting like asses for money and do it with an excellent sense of humor so children could say, don't be caught with your pants down trying to head fuck Parsons like you're Deputy Dewey on Scary Movie. Yeah, super. Okay. Senseless. And besides, who would want? No. Guys, when a woman shares herself with you, that's very important. You have to make you understand that she loves you and that she understands what love is. Otherwise, you're just having sex. And you might as well be as rich as Bill Gates, but have the same common sense as Bill Gates and the same egotistical problems as Bill Gates. Right, and then punch Sheldon. Okay. And did Leonard throw up on his tie or something like that? I don't recall. It's not that, You mean Bill Gates is like... Yeah. You got a clock that's an owl. Doesn't have seconds or minutes or hours. This is the hands, this is hours. Okay, show me 2:45. Okay, I'm not gonna kill you for looking at me cross-eyed. That's my ex-wife. Don't do it, Steffi. Don't do it, Steffi. Okay, I love you too. Okay. Of course I love him. Like him or trust him? Oh, can't stand the guy. Okay. Do not like him at all. Did not like Steve Jobs? No, still don't. You're the first circuit in the circuit board. And Jennifer Lopez is the circuit board, and I'm the circuit. So she's the goddess of the giver, goddess of healer. Oh, okay. You really got her believing that shit? Does she still believe that shit? No wonder we haven't talked to each other and seen each other, and I say, oh, it's you. No, I don't want to get sand in your woo-woo, and I don't want to have sex. And you must have me confused with a guy from the dunes of the Cape. Cape Cod already. Okay, so, it ain't going to happen. Okay, so, but love. We're living the Lord's Prayer. Don't you think that's the best thing I can do for the Coconut's mommy is for her to live the Lord's Prayer globally so her children aren't tortured by scientific perverts in their domicile who are keeping them and their money safe with their pervert scientific experiments? Oh, how shades of blue of you. Hey, Dre Di Matteo, you gotten over it yet? Okay. It wasn't that Jesus that sexually took advantage of you in a Catholic school in New York or wherever it was, whatever, whoever, or if it was a Protestant counselor in Texas that had the Miles Garrett guy trying to kill the kid that reminded of him at Pittsburgh from Oklahoma State or wherever he went to school with his own helmet, right? Oh, PTSD. Yeah, it happens. Oh, I felt it. Like something happened to him when he was a kid with the Father Flanagan from G.J. Quills, and the guy that he's trying to hurt reminds him of that. And it's his tackling fuel. And he's a big, strong, handsome kid, but he's an angry little boy. Oh, I felt it. I liked Garrett. He play was he at Texas A&M or whatever? I liked him immediately. I was like, okay. I liked him as a football player. And I thought he was a really decent kid as a person, as a human being. And he loves his mom, and stuff. But I think he's raised by a single mother, so he's made very vulnerable to predators, which happens a lot. That's why this guy chose to be a predator. He was a top 15 recruit, and he chose to be a predator instead. Yeah, shades of blue. Listen real close to me, lady. You just wait and see, baby. Got a whole lot of love to give you. Yeah. So, live the Lord's Prayer. Eliminate crimes of opportunity from sexual predators. Immensely. You decrease it, if you go to Ohio State University, it decreases it exponentially. Okay. Ohio State University. Kirk Hervey Street on it, yeah. Guys, that's all I've had to connect to brain because I won't play anything else. Oh, God, no. Hey, you think I'm going to... I had them. I sent them back to Noir Arme. Still have them. Called the Dookie? Fuck no. I'm going to run around killing people in Germany, killing old men and teenage boys in Germany to be a hero so I can have a stadium named after me for prostitution, intoxication, suicide. Some say there's no God. Hey, look, the fighter planes are going over. I can see those fighter planes. 7 them down. 100, 200. And it's... Bullet the blue sky. Bullet the blue. I don't have that. Gabe has it. Bullet the blue. No, he doesn't. I don't think it's one of their top hits. It's on that CD that I gave him. But he should probably go download. That's a good song. It was one of me and Steve's favorite. Oh, the guitar on it is awesome. Okay, you don't remember Bullet the Blue Sky from See the stone said in your eyes, see the stone twisted my, I wait for you. Oh, you're pretending to be Jesus, huh? Okay, yeah, you're told to do that in Catholic church school. Okay. He looks like a Protestant. Oh, Angela's asked to save us. Do you understand? No, that's a very sad movie and very sad. Malachi. That's what Amy was going to name Crummy. Was Malachi? No, we call him Malachi, but when he's little, you can call him Malachi. Okay, but when he grows up, he's not going to be called Malachi. He's going to be called Malachi because it's a prophet. And the old Yorga, Malachi means dick licker. Maybe in Bulgaria, but in the Middle East, where the name's origin comes from, it means prophet. Dumbass. Okay, dick licker. Okay, that's your closet that you just keep in your closet. We don't want to know about your crumbing with and King Crumb. It's like, did King Crumb ever kill Goliath to stop man from raping women and stuff like that? Well, I'm really pissed off at you for doing that to my son. Not that leg lifter from fucking Baltimore. That's my son. I made sure he was delivered. I made sure he didn't die from malnutrition. I made sure he wasn't I took him down to be aborted because that's what Amy wanted with my tax refund, but no one in Tucson would do it because it was too far past his term. And me and the Mormon church were singing zippity-doo-dah, zippity-a all the way home in that rental car back to Cochise County. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-a, my, oh my, what a wonderful day. Didn't use my money to commit abortion today. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-a. I was happy and Amy was mad at me. Yeah, that stupid little Hitch movie guy in his red rental Mustang. Yeah. I'm going to raise his child to be nothing like his sorry ass. How I do it? Noah, Natalie, Emily, and Kate. That's how I'm going to raise him to be nothing like that sorry leg-lifting son of a bitch from the barn from Baltimore. It's his dinghy in the Chesapeake Bay, and he wants to get back to Baltimore, back to the military surveillance playground of the District of Columbia, whatever you want to call it. Asshole. Okay, I love you, man. Peace out.